YouTube, welcome back. We have patch notes for 091. We have a 5-minute video, skip ahead if you don't care. And then we have some extra information that we know about exactly what these changes are going to look like in one specific scenario. So there's a lot of good stuff here. It's not going to be too long a video to go over everything, but yeah, let's start with this.
Hey there, travelers. I'm Judd Kobler, game director for Last Epoch, and
Still can't believe his last name's Kobler, not Cobbler.
Today I'm excited to bring you the highlights of the latest upcoming early access patch, Rising Flames 0.9.1, releasing May 25th. Rising Flames introduces a fully reimagined first chapter of Last Epoch. You, the Traveler, find yourself tasked to protect an organization known as the Keepers. This mysterious group is rumored to work for the goddess Atera herself, as sworn protectors of her most sacred artifact, the Epoch. Amidst a relentless assault from Raya's army, the protection of the Epoch is under threat, as Raya has learned of this artifact's near limitless potential to manipulate both time and space. Atera's past, as well as its future, hangs in the balance. You'll meet a whole host of formidable new enemies across new zones in your attempt to prevent Raya's army from obtaining this sacred device, and learn about the secrets of the Keepers along the way. We hope you enjoy this new chapter, which lays the groundwork for the events to come.
So I've been playing Chrono Trigger recently. Turns out all of Last Epoch's lore is literally one-to-one Chrono Trigger. I never played Chrono Trigger 25 years ago. I didn't get the memo about it, but it's hilarious how many similarities there are.
Rising Flames comes with a host of features to improve the multiplayer experience. Now when you enter towns, you'll find other random travelers from the server who you can interact with and form parties. You'll be able to show off your awesome loot to other travelers in-game via item linking. You can link items in chat by control right-clicking an item with the dialog box open. Also, you can now select your server region before you enter the game on your character. Ladders have been re-added and redesigned for multiplayer, including the ability to rank on the leaderboards in different team sizes, modes, and classes. It's
still going to show the skill that you have on your bar. It's not going to show the 5 skills that you have spec'd into. So if you have like a 6th skill, like you're proccing smite but lunge is on your bar, then lunge is going to show up here. This is not terribly useful information because it's like right before you die, you could just like put 5 garbage skills on your bar and then die, and then someone's going to see 5 garbage skills in the bar. So like it's not so good. Yeah, the video playback is fast. I turned it up a little bit because I have no patience.
And classes. Now that Last Epoch is online and server authoritative, ladders will showcase those that have legitimately become the best of the best combatants in Atera's arena. We have additional functionality for interactions coming to towns and parties before 1.0. We hope these improvements greatly add to your experience when forming parties and interacting with individuals in Atera. Rising Flames introduces many new unique items, including a brand new type of unique item called Weaver Uniques.
So pause on this real quick. We're going to go over this later as well. Weaver's Uniques always drop with between 5 and 28 Weaver's Will. You will never get a Weaver's Unique that does not have Weaver's Will on it.
Weaver Uniques are a new type of unique that upgrade to legendaries in a different way. Instead of dropping with 0 to 4 legendary potential, they drop with between 5 and 28 Weaver's Will. When an item has Weaver's Will, while you kill enemies, the Weaver, a mysterious entity coming to later cycles of Last Epoch.
So pause real quick. So this is like just a pretty generically good item. When I look at this item, I only look at the first part, like increased health and mana. Good. It's already a good item. Whatever else it gets on it, awesome. Compare this to using like an LP Ribbon of Blood that has % increased health on it, and then you like LP a bunch of stuff onto it. This could be an item that you use all the time. The other stuff is kind of flavor text, but you could make use of it. Mana spent gain his ward. We saw Dread make a build out of the mana spent gain his ward. He thinks it's quite good right now, or quite reasonable right now. And then there's like this last line of text. It's kind of a mouthful, but I guess I'll read it. 1 ward gained on hit per 10 missing mana if your current ward is lower than your missing health. Nope, I still don't know what it does.
Slowly rebuilds the item by adding random mods and then upgrading them with higher tiers, with the potential to go all the way up to tier 7.
Yeah,
each tier of an
a
optics
28 Weaver's Will would literally
These
be
Weaver Uniques can
4
all drop
tier
during
7.
the campaign.
It would literally be 4 tier 7 modifiers if you had a 28 Weaver's Will, and it might still be garbage.
With you as you progress.
Bad
However, once
tier
they drop
7
at higher
modifiers.
levels, we'll have more Weaver's
Son
Will on
avoidance.
average. I'll show off one new normal unique item and then 2 Weaver's items. Apostate Sanctuary is a potentially
This is a
very
new
powerful
one. We're going to pause real quick on this. This is a cool item. It has no class requirement, but it seems like it has some synergy with Smite and definitely some synergy with Rebuke. So it has a fuck ton of life on it. 394 life. Is this the only bone? No, we've seen other unique bone amulets before, because like Logi's Hunger is a bone amulet. Current health and ward lost when you directly cast a spell. Health leech is disabled when you directly cast a spell. So like you're really rewarded for either being an attack-based build or just like proccing spells. You don't directly cast a spell. Ward gain per second per 1 uncapped Fizz Res while channeling Rebuke. Ward per second Rebuke? Double question mark? More damage to boss and rare enemies. Melee necrotic damage. It looks like a pretty generically good item, especially if you get LP on it. These middle 3 lines of text, I have no idea what to do with them. I mean, you could avoid making use of these. Is there a build out there that wants to cast a spell directly in order to disable these things? Directly cast a spell. You could be using the reactive ward node as a mage, and every 3 seconds you want to chunk yourself and you don't care about leech. Okay, so you could use this as a mage with reactive ward on a ward based build using Vessel of Strife and building health regen. Or you could play Exsanguinous.
That adds a harsh penalty for direct spell casting. What builds can you make that exclude direct spell cast to take advantage of the large defensive bonuses of this item? Our first Weaver unique is Cradle of the Erased.
Oh, it chunks your ward. Yeah, ignore me.
4 stacks,
Literally
just
ignore me.
Time, making it great for blocking occasional hits. Its starting block effectiveness is low, but you can stack more resistances to improve it as you progress through the game.
This item greatly suffers from not being Bastion of Honor. It's a cool item. I'm pretty sure it only stacks 4 times. So 4 times 13, 26, 40, 52. So you get like plus 52 block chance, 52, 62, 68. So this item has 68 block chance on it, kind of, right? Assuming that you're like only blocking once every once in a while. It'd be a nice item if you're killing things very quickly if they're near you and you're off screening stuff often. Something like Enra's technique, maybe. Something like a Smite Hammered In might not get hit very often. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good item, but Bastion of Honor exists, so.
The block effectiveness affix 2. Knowledge of an Erased Mage, one of 5 unique Weaver relics. With this unique, keeping your mana low by using high cost skills or damage dealt to mana allows you to take better advantage of your endurance. Like the other class specific Weaver relics, this has a bonus chance to gain level.
Look at the spell going on in the background. What the hell?
Skill affixes, so those won't be as rare as when they're on regular relics. And there's even a chance of it.
Whoa, this spell is cool.
Giving a skill up to 5 levels. Happy hunting. And
I think this item is sweet.
Relics.
I don't know if it's good yet. I don't know exactly what to do with it, but like damage dealt to mana before health. And then endurance applies to 5 additional health per 10 missing mana. So if you can keep if you have a big mana pool and you keep your mana pool low, then it caps your health and endurance. Right? That's pretty cool.
And there's even a chance of it giving a skill up to 5 levels. Happy hunting, and we can't wait to see what powerful items the Weaver has in store for you. In patch 0.9.1, we're also introducing an early version of the Cosmetic shop, where you can purchase visual items for your characters.
Important thing to know about the Cosmetic shop, if you buy the biggest supporter pack, you do not get all the smaller supporter packs. It is not the same as Path of Exile.
You will already have Epoch points to spend from your early support of last Epoch. And while the inventory for the Cosmetic shop is limited with the early access release, we're excited to expand the offerings and see our supporters look incredibly cool with skins for armor, skills, non-combat pets, and more. You'll encounter many new enemies with the release of Rising Flames. 13 new enemies have been added to fill the ranks of Raye's army, and new and exciting wildlife can be found. We've also updated the models for Reaper form, forged weapons, and all wolves and bears across Atera, including the Primalists Summon Bear and Summon Wolf. Additionally, we've updated over 70 of the in-game unique weapons to have fantastic new 3D models. 0.9.1 Rising Flames continues the mission of updates, fixes, and increasing the overall quality of last Epoch before our large upcoming 1.0 release later this year. We hope you enjoy the latest, and as always, we'll see you in Atera.
Boom. Cool. All right, so we've gone over that. Let's switch over to this instead, and we shall read. We're just gonna go through the whole thing. Got some stuff. All right, so we're gonna talk about campaign, some systems. Nothing terribly interesting is gonna go on here, but we'll browse through it anyways. Monolith of Fate has 2 interesting things going on in the Monolith of Fate, in my opinion. Gameplay, not particularly interesting. Skills will be interesting. Individual skill changes. Ooh la la. Enemies, animations, visuals, uniques. Unique should be fun to talk about. And then I think that's about it. So let's scroll down here. Chapter 1 rework. Completely recreated chapter 1. Why is this capitalized? Recreated chapter 1, fleshing out the stories and the environment, inhabited by new enemies and allies. Chapter 1. So we meet Grail in chapter 1, which to me is very interesting because chapter 1's in the Divine Era, and then in chapter 7, when you meet Grail later on, that's also the Divine Era. So is he going to be like, hey, I just saw you 45 minutes ago? I don't know. So I'm curious to know how Grail is going to work in with chapter 1 stuff. And then specifically also when you meet him later on. We'll see. General campaign, item system, you do this. Mastery stuff. Now occurs after completing chapter 2 instead of chapter 3. Cool. It's probably going to be about the same level, right? I have to assume. Fixed a bug where you teleported the shelter wood before completing gas fire's early quests. You'd be unable to complete them. Added a new mini boss. Awesome. Adjusted some shrines. So I put out a video talking about exactly how to beat the very first boss in the game. That is now outdated information. So I need to fix my boss guide for how to kill the very first boss. I'm sorry to everyone out there who is using that in order to min-max their experience and potion drop rates. Some systems, region selection. This is great. Should have been there initially, but whatever. I'm a little concerned that there's so many ladders. I feel like it should only be solo and then not solo for 2, 3, 4, but whatever. So let me know which ladder you're going to compete on. Cosmetic store, it exists. Item linking, control right click. Very cool. I like this. Let's go down to towns. Non-combat social spaces. You can talk to each other. Is there going to be a local chat? I kind of hope there won't be. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, every town is a town chat channel to talk to other players immediately in your area. Great. More stuff in the future. Monolith of Fate. There is something new here. No league reset, correct. Monolith of Fate, we have a new objective. This is important to know about. Instead of just chasing down diamond matrons, now you will kill enemies and then you will lure out an ambush. When the ambush pops up, you'll kill the monsters who are there. I hope it doesn't insta-give you in like hardcore, but it kind of reminds me of what was it? Was it called Ambush? What was the syndicate group in Path of Exile that when it was first released, it just one-shot everybody? I hope it's not like that. Let's keep going. There's something called Sanctuary of Terra. This is good. I like this a lot. Sanctuary of Terra. This new echo type appears next to the origin. So now I'm going to call it origin instead of calling it, the blue box. Whenever corruption is above minimum, it allows you to reduce corruption. You can either set it back to the very lowest, 0 for non-empowered, 100 for empowered, or you can go down by 10. Completed Echo does not affect the active modifiers. Shade of Arubis always increases, so it removes the noob trap of doing a shade as soon as possible that would reduce when you're not trying to reduce. So they removed a noob trap. I think this is a great change. That's very good. Scroll. Got some bug fixes here. What's going on? Oh, so there was a bug where you could have like a million different modifiers on, and then like you literally couldn't kill monsters. Don't worry about that. Or do, but it's not possible anymore, so don't worry about it. Up this. Rewards. Increased, this is good for us, increased how common the Echo completion reward types are that are unique to a certain timeline by 11 to 33% based on reward type and corruption. So these are like set unique helmets, set unique gloves, set unique shields. All of these will be more common. Good. Start probably like 11% more common at base, and then maybe at like 200 corruption or 300 corruption. I don't know, something like that. It'll scale up to like 33% more common. That's a great change. I like that a lot. What's going on? Gameplay. Fixed a bug, fixed a bug, fixed a bug. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Fixed a bug. What else is going on? Fixed a bug. Fixed a bug with sources of self-damage, such as Aura of Decay, Double-Edged Scythe, and Diathane's Bloody Nib. Received penetration. So you might not instantly one-shot yourself when you're playing Shatter Strike with a Bloody Nib. This is a big problem with Bloody Nib in the past. It might technically be playable. We'll have to see how quickly we can kill ourselves with this new node here. YouTube, don't demonetize me. Fixed a bug where fire resistance shred was not working. Did not reduce fire resistance. Other shred worked perfectly fine. How? I love it. But how did this happen? Sorry, builds that used fire damage. Okay, social. I don't care about this. Maybe you do. Pause the video, read it yourself. Let's keep going. Ooh, look at this. It's so clean. Can I just take this? I'm gonna take this. Can I just? It's so clean. That's clean as hell. Can I download it? I'm going to download it. Get out of here. Whew. It's hot. Let's keep going. Fixed a bug where attacking and moving could cause your character to attempt to attack earlier. Play the attack animation with no damage ability created. Good. That was annoying as hell. Happened with me with puncture with a bow. Fixed a bug where some skills such as Sync Strike could fail to cast and then you'd be locked in place. This was annoying as hell. I'm very happy this has been fixed. I saw a lot of people complaining about that. Significantly reduced the occurrences of bugs related to Warpath. I hope that this also applies to all channeling abilities like Shield Rush, but they only called out Warpath. So let me know if this is working with Shield Rush as well, because I want to play Shield Rush DPS builds. Yeah, all of this stuff. Very annoying. Hopefully it's gone. We'll see. Projectiles. Hammer throw. Yeah, okay, so I've experienced this as well. It fixed a bug where projectiles would sometimes be destroyed or return rather than continue when killing an enemy. Cool. There's some new icons. The engorgement node in Assemble Abomination. So this is the skill section, which is very important for us. Now has a 40 minion limit. I have no idea if this is relevant. If anyone in Twitch chat plays Abomination, let me know the context for this change. Does anyone care about this? Moving on for Bone Curse. Bone Curse actually has two important things to talk about here. So Illusion of Pain was bugged, but it was bugged in two different ways. I think they fixed one bug by turning it into a feature, and I think they did not fix the second bug. So real quick with Bone Curse. Illusion of Pain no longer states that its damage and crit bonuses only apply if Bone Curse is directly applied. This wasn't working. The bonus is applied when it was applied. The bonus is applied when it was applied by any method. So now they fixed it by just making it a feature. So Illusion of Pain does work if not applied directly. It does, yes. It also reduces the duration of cursed limbs and cursed ground by 75%, which means that you would need to cast or proc Bone Curse every 1.75 seconds, which means that you would need to like work it into your rotation if you wanted permanent uptime. I think this is fine. Fun change. There's a second bug with Illusion of Pain that doesn't seem to be addressed by this post. And based on the dev communication, I suspect that it might still be a bug. Illusion of Pain, with cursed limbs, the more multipliers from the skill that procced it were also being applied to the Bone Curse damage. Which meant like a more multiplier from the Hungering Souls skill tree was more multiplying the Bone Curse damage itself. It's cursed limbs, not Illusion of Pain. Yeah, so the Illusion of Pain thing is fixed by making it a feature, but I think the cursed limbs thing is still bugged. So we're still dealing giga damage, and that should be fixed at some point. Hopefully, because now the devs are aware of it. Bone Golem is next. Fixed a bug where damage over time abilities, which are able to damage minions, could trigger Bone Golem's effective remains. I have no idea for the context of this. If anyone else knows, please tell me. Because it has... I don't know if you know this, chat. Golems are actually a type of minion, which means that my knowledge of it is like a little bit smaller than it would normally be. Let's go to Elinova. One of the concerns with the arena being implemented was that people could buy ultra widescreen monitors or just change the resolution of their game, and then they could just cast Elinova wherever their mouse was on their screen. So you could off-screen monsters with Elinova when they never know that you even exist because they're so far away. So now it has a maximum range. They should probably do this with every skill, but that's just me. Fireball. Fixed it not visually converting. Fixed the bug with a tooltip to not account for the lightning conversion. Gotcha. Forged weapons have 10% more attack speed. I think forged weapons start to peter out at about 300 corruption. I doubt that this changes anything for forged weapons. Forged weapons are fun, or so I've been told. They're nice and fast up until about 300 corruption, but I don't think they're going to do much above that. Yeah, I think, pretty sure about that. Hammer throw. Fixed a bug where Void Knight echoes using hammer throw would often cause the hammers to instantly return to the player. Sounds annoying. I'm glad it's gone. Meteor. Fixed a bug where Meteor could use a default visual converted lightning, so this is just a visual change. Reperform is pretty, and it is new. Transforming to Reperform also uses Reap. Oh! Oh! That's cool. Okay. Instantly get to use my movement skill. I like that. It's cute. Bear is new. It's very pretty. Skeleton looks better. Wolf looks better. There's a lightning variant for wolves. I assume the lightning variant just comes from taking the retaliation node, which has the lightning tag on it. The ice bite change doesn't seem particularly important. I guess it's good, right? So it used to have a 10% chance to trigger, but now it scales with attack speed. So 20% of the remaining cooldown is recovered every time the wolf hits it with an ability other than ice bite, including the basic attack. So I think this is about the same as it used to be, but cool. I like this a lot. Remember, this also grants the cold tag to wolves, which means that you can use that new one-handed sword because it's a cold minion. Holy moly. Let's keep going. There's a bunch of indicators that weren't spawning, but now their indicators are spawning. I'm going to scroll past a lot of stuff here. Animations. Updated all the character animations for Sentinels. Can't wait to see it. And then for visuals, what's going on here? Bubbles in Acid Flask. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I was going to make a video about this, saying that the real issue with Acid Flask was the bubbles. But now I don't need to. So it's being fixed. That's good. There are some unique items. So we talked about this particular ring already. So we're looking at Weaver's uniques here. We talked about how this works, going from 5 up to 28 Weaver's Will. They all drop during the campaign. If you find one later on, they drop with higher will on them. I will not be calling this WP as a counterpart to LP, but I will be calling it will. So it's got 28 will or 5 will on it. It's got nine Weaver uniques, 4 that are available to all classes, and 5 class-specific relics. Sounds great to me. Can't wait to see what they are. If they're well received, if you like this, you should go on the forums and you should tell the devs if you like this. If you hate this, don't say anything because I want more of them. New unique items. There are 6 general unique items. We've seen 2? Have we only seen 2 so far? Because we've seen the bone amulet and we've seen the sword, right? Did the bone amulet have WP on it?
Item with the dialog box open. Also, you can now select your server region before you enter the game on your character. Ladders have been re-added and redesigned for multiplayer, including the ability
Is this
defensive bonuses of this item.
Yeah, so yeah, this is one. Oh, and the boots. Okay, yeah, okay, so we've boots, amulet, relic. Oh, is there a relic? Immediately does the thing. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. The nine Weaver uniques, 6 general uniques. Sweet. This is interesting here. The Fairbor set. The most recent Fairbor adjacent build that we've seen was Bina's build. Bina put together a staff build for a, what was it? It was a shaman, Spriggan form, Thorn Totem build, and it looks great. Looks like a really good build. And his justification for using the staff is that he got enough crit from other sources, and he was able to build crit and like use idols for the base crit. But then like you have to go Titan Heart, and then you have a staff there, right? So this is +2 to totem skills instead of just +1. So this is making it more competitive with the recommendation that he made previously, which I think is good. I think it's a really good thing. The Forgotten Knight set is a sweet set here. So the Forgotten Knight set has 3 parts to it, and one of them is a shield, which sucks because the shield is not Bastion of Honor. However, the shield in the past, in 0.9, it was updated to give you 2% more damage per time rot, which stacks up to 12? I think it's 12. Pretty sure it's 12. Pretty sure it's 12 stacks, which is 24% more damage. And now, instead of 24% more damage, it's 36% more damage. So having 36% more, it's kind of like the amulet's fine. The sword is fine. So would you rather use a Bastion of Honor, or do you want a shield that has 36% more damage on it? And that's kind of interesting. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The answer is probably no. But like, I don't mind it, dude. It's kind of cool. Let's keep going here. Gaspar sets. Every time that I see someone talking about Gaspar set, they tell me that the cooldown is too long. I don't know if the change from 35 to 50% cooldown reduction with the introduction of other cooldown. I guess cooldown in the game doesn't do anything because cooldown in the game only applies to skills. It doesn't apply to items. So I assume that this is not enough, but if somebody else out there has played Gaspar's Will enough to be disappointed by it, let me know if this actually moves the needle at all. Probably doesn't, but like maybe it does. Got more void damage. Cool. The Sunforge set. Important thing to know about the hammer. People often eschew using the hammer and just like use something else instead, because the hammer, you can't use Void Cleave. And Void Cleave is one of the best minion things that you can do as a sentinel. So oftentimes people just don't use the hammer, just use something else instead. But the 2-set bonus with the body armor and the helmet is pretty good, and the helmet is a good item by itself. So this is it's an interesting change here. I doubt that this is interesting enough. Let's keep going. Other changes. There's a 3D model for all unique items that did not already have one. Awesome. Hope we get transmog someday. Fixed a bug where stuff happened. This is kind of cute, but we're not going to read it. The level of requirement for legendary items is now the same as the base uniques level requirement. So if you want to make a 4LP leveling item, you can now make a 4LP leveling item, which I think is pretty cool. I actually kind of like it. Battle Mage's Endeavor. I am very curious to know whether this thing is still garbage. It used to give 24 to 30. So it used to give even less. But then they buffed it in 0.9 and nobody uses it. So now they buffed it again. Now 36 to 48. It's almost a 50 chance to cast Lightning Blast when you use Mana Strike. Or, sorry, it says melee attack and hit. It's a big enough number that now I want to mess around with it. Is it bad? It's probably bad, but maybe it's fun bad instead of just bad. Cool. Let's keep going. Fighting chance, bunch of damage on it, bunch of movement speed, 5 to 10 instead of just 5. I love having ranges on stuff. No complaints here. Fixed a bug where Hand of Judgment worked even while you were armed, even while you had a wand on. It was insane. I'm glad this has been fixed. That's good. Halved the taunt strength. I think the taunt strength of the illusory tree is an Aurora circuit. I think this refers to how far away the taunt reaches. Like, is it the edge of your screen? Is it only half the screen? I think that's what taunt strength means. Jasper's Searing Pride is an item that I want to mess around with. We had a build contest with Jasper's Searing Pride once upon a time, and I think one of the most interesting builds that came out of Jasper's Searing Pride was Rive. Now that Rive has been updated, I think there's better things you can be doing with Rive, but that's still the kind of thing that's in the back of my mind here. So Jasper's Searing Pride gives plus melee damage, so it's adaptive instead of physical. And the buff lasts for 16 seconds. And the buff gives you 20% chance to ignite on hits. Ignite a melee hit, I think. And 2 flat fire spell damage. 2 flat fire melee damage. So now you get twice as many of those buffs. It's a sizable buff. I'm excited to see people use this thing. I hope that Flame Reave and Surge isn't the only thing you can do with it, because I don't like when it's prescriptivist and tells you exactly what to do on the item itself. But yeah, I mean, it's big. I think Jasper's is pretty interesting right now. Drawer's Obsession was bugged to shit. I hope that they fixed all of the bugs, not only one of the bugs. So what happened in the past with the Drawer's Obsession gloves is that every time you cast your every time you cast your minion skill, it would stack whatever modifier you put on Drawer's Obsession. So if you put cast speed on them, you'd cast a bunch of flame rates, and then your flame rates would get increasing amounts of cast speed every time. What people were also doing with this is what's here. Symptoms including, and not limited to, hopefully, repeatedly reapplying attributes to you. So you could put like intelligence on them and then use a minion skill over and over, and it would give you, your person, more intelligence, which is insane. So hopefully all portions of this have been fixed. Hopefully. The Rat City Spear, they're buffing it, which makes me nervous, because the issue with the Rat City Spear is not the fact that it's bad, it's the fact that it's tied to a garbage skill. So I think the most interesting thing you can do with the Rat City Spear right now is build a ton of cooldown recovery speed. I don't like this. I wish they would just not buff the Rat City Spear and instead just fix Volcanic Orb and then reassess whether you need to buff the thing. I hate it, but whatever. Well, let's keep going. Fixed a bug. Let's take a look at this. I have extra information for you, chat. This is items here. Added crit chance. Added means a plus sign, which means base. This is base critical strike chance and bow attack speed hybrid affix. This is a big deal. I made a video talking about the lack of base critical strike chance for bow builds and how that's kind of an issue right now. They addressed it, which is awesome. The information that you need to know about this is, first of all, you can also craft attack speed. So if you want attack speed and this, now you have 2 attack speed prefixes on your weapon. And the second thing you need to know is this. So let's zoom in real quick. This is a conversation that popped up on Discord. This is what are the new tier 5, 6, and 7 rolls for crit on your bow? So a tier 5 for this new affix is 5 base crit and 12 to 16 attack speed. The tier 6 is 7 to 8 crit with 19 to 23 attack speed. The tier 7 is 9 to 10 crit with 24 to 28 attack speed. Yeah. I assume that it's bow critical strike chance. If it's generic critical strike chance, then it also helps things like the icicles from your Reign of Winter bow. If it's only bow critical strike chance, then it does not help your icicles from the Reign of Winter bow. So that's the last thing we need to know. Cool. Huge. Love it. Big numbers. Whew. Let's keep going. Vacuum range, crafting items, fewer of them, or sorry, when they drop in bigger clumps, but they drop less often. They never drop one at a time, level 12 plus. This is great. It's generic crit. Ooh, baby, it's generic crit. Okay, sick. The other thing for you to know down here for all this renamed stuff is engraved gauntlets is something that we often reference. Engraved gauntlets no longer exist in the game. They are now called plated gauntlets. So get used to looking for plated gauntlets when you want endurance. Plate equals endurance. Something, something, something. Love it. Update this, update this, update this. Minimap looks good. Sound, sure. Optimizations, greatly improved. Love it. Is that it? That's it? That's the whole thing? That's barely even 30 minutes. Okay, cool. If there's anything that you think I should have talked about but didn't talk about, be sure to keep it to yourself. Be sure to let me know in the comment section, and I will see you on the 25th when this launches. I'm excited.